Hey guys, in today's video you're going to learn how to repair an LG dishwasher that's causing an FE error code. This is a common problem with the LG dishwasher, and usually you don't need to replace the part. Normally all you have to do is clean it out once you get to it. So the first step, as with all dishwashers, you usually have to uninstall it. Same with this LG. All you have to do is remove the kick plate or the bottom panel and the noise filter, and it's just held together by two Phillips head screws. And then remove the two screws at the mounting brackets under the counter, and then you will be able to slide the dishwasher forward. Now, of course, as always, you should have it unplugged and the water turned off before you start to repair this dishwasher. When you're uninstalling a dishwasher, there are usually additional steps that I did not have to do with this particular dishwasher. Number one, you need to ensure that you turn the water off, and you'll probably need to remove the water supply line, which is connected to the inlet valve. Number two, you normally are going to have to at least unplug the power cord, and if some of those are connected in the junction box, what we call hardwire, you will need to remove the wire nuts and then disconnect that from the wiring harness. And then number three, remove the drain hose from the dishwasher. Most of them are connected to a garbage disposal, and you may need to feed it through the cabinet opening where the dishwasher is connected to the drain pump, so you can give yourself a little slack and allow the dishwasher to be pulled forward. Now, in this particular dishwasher and in most appliances, you want to do the minimum uninstallation as possible. So I didn't have to do much here, and you're about to see that now. Now we're seeing what is causing that FE error code, which is the float assembly. And what you're seeing here, the arrow is pointing to the float assembly, and that's the float assembly switch cover. Of course, we have to remove the switch cover and those harnesses to get to the float assembly. But before we get to that, you need to remove the dish racks. I would recommend the top and bottom, and then you're going to need to remove the water inlet cover that you're seeing here. I would recommend with a pair of needle nose pliers, and you're going to have to turn counterclockwise, and then it'll come right off. So now we pulled the dishwasher out, and you have access to the float assembly, and there's a tab to the left that you just push forward and pull the float assembly down. The next step is to disconnect the float assembly switch. Just use a flathead screwdriver and they'll slide right off. After that, the overflow hose, you're going to need to use needle nose pliers or some type of clamp pliers to remove that clamp. What you're seeing here is I reconnected the switch to give me some leverage because I'm operating the camera with one hand. But what I really want you to see is how dirty and grimy the float assembly is. And this is causing that FE error code. And then we're going to move the second portion of this hose clamp, which is connected to the sump. Here's a closer look, and you're seeing the dirt. And then all you have to do here to access that float area on the inside is just slide the cover up. Just take a note of how to put it back on. It's really simple. And what we're going to have to do at this point is clean that. Or some of you may elect to just replace it. I decided to clean it. I was already there, didn't have the part with me, and you saved the customer a few bucks. Here's what it looks like when you disassemble that float assembly. And this is what it looked like before I cleaned it, right in the sink there at the customer's house. And then you're seeing the two float pieces. And now what you're about to see is how they work when it's clean and they're working properly. As you can see here, they float to the top. Of course, the top would be on this float assembly, but once they float to the top, they send a signal to the switch to let the dishwasher know that it's operating correctly and you won't get that FE error code. So this is what it looks like when you reassemble the float assembly. But a big tip here, guys, if you elect to clean this float assembly, instead of replacing it, you must clean it thoroughly. If you do not, when you do put it together, and especially if you don't test it like I did earlier, you're going to do all of this for nothing. It will cause that FE error code again. I'm pointing to the tie that you're going to use when you put it back together or reassemble it. That is the tie that's used for the wiring harnesses to that switch, like you see here. So I just don't want you to forget about that. I didn't emphasize that earlier, so I wanted to show you in this part of the video. Now that you've got everything in place with the float assembly and the switch, you're going to put the inlet valve cover on, and all you're going to do is put it in place, use the needle nose pliers, and just turn it clockwise. That's it, guys, on how to repair an LG dishwasher that's causing the FE error code. Thanks again for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see future videos. And as always, be blessed and be encouraged.